I met a little boy, lived across the street from me. He battled cancer ferociously for years. He passed away when he was 6 years old. And we came up with the idea to have a race to commemorate his life. So this race started the year after he passed away, and we are on our 11th year of having a successful race that has made so much money for our foundation, and we are able to grant this money to families who have children battling pediatric cancer.
John was an extraordinary little boy.
John was just this larger-than-life personality.
John was such an amazing kid.
My buddy, John Shapiro.
He was always like the happiest person in the classroom.
I had the great privilege and honor to be John's friend.
And he just charmed the pants off of everybody.
John was only here a short time. That time was so wisely used by him.
John was hilarious, charming, generous, joyful, present, and loving.
Somehow he made it fun going to the hospital for treatment. And he would refer to himself as a worker or a helper, which he took absolutely seriously.
John was a worker. John loved all the people that worked everywhere.
We had a day for him, and it was a superhero day, that he got to be there, and he had a Superman costume. Now, he had, because he was on medications, he was like swollen and blown up. And so the Superman costume didn't quite fit, but that didn't keep John from wearing it.
He always looked on the bright side. You could never tell just by knowing him.
Never complained.
You wouldn't know how sick John was or what everything he was going through.
I think the coolest thing about John was that every day when we went to class, you had no idea that he was battling something.
You know, one of the most, I think, important things any human can do is to not let their circumstances define them. And John never, ever let his circumstances define him.
Never let it affect his worldview or his delight. He could make friends with anybody.
The fight that he put up and the attitude he had toward it, John Shapiro was a hero.
All heart, all the time.
It's just amazing how people loved him.
I don't want to say any word. He's just, he captured your heart.
You know, it's every parent's worst nightmare to have a child be sick with cancer.
He was diagnosed with a brain tumor when he was 2.5 years old.
I will always love you how I do.
2 thumbs up, John. Smile.
Unfortunately, the MRI at a year out showed another tumor at a different place. So at that point, we knew things have changed. John's time with us was going to be limited. At that point, the doctor said he has a few months to 2 years to live. John lived 3 years almost to the date. After that, we really pursued all possible treatments.
He battled cancer ferociously for years.
You know, John was my buddy. You know, he was larger than life, but I like to remember just the moments, like at the end of the day when he was tired, and we'd sit on the sofa and he would just lay down and put his head on your lap and fall asleep, you know, before it was time for bedtime, and, you know, just have those couple moments with him where there was just nothing going on. Just you and him, and it was nice.
You'll have this place to call on always.
He definitely knew he was sick, and especially toward the end, we were, I had gotten him a storybook that he could actually, his voice was being recorded telling the story. And he got to, it was Frosty, and he got to a certain point when Frosty melted. And he said, I don't like this anymore. Closed the book, and I thought, That told me volumes, that he really knew what was happening to him.
He had a lot of reasons. Even towards the end, he wasn't feeling well. He had pain, he had headaches, but every day he made a choice to be happy. You know, when your child has cancer and passed away from cancer, it leaves us with many questions that will never be answered. But we do know John's life, I mean, his short life, 6 years, had a lot of purpose.
I'll always love you.
Will you say, Mommy and Daddy, I love you?
Mommy and Daddy, I love you.
We love you.
He passed away when he was 6 years old.
It was very sad. It was a devastating loss to the community, obviously to the Shapiros.
And we came up with the idea to have a race to commemorate his life.
We started this 5K run. We did a little fun run. So at the time, our children were in the fun run because they were like 6. Now they're about, the kids in John's class, my son and his friends are about to go off to college.
He would love the race day. The race day is a giant party where everyone there is just, it's like electric.
When we came to them with this crazy idea, hey, we're gonna throw a 5K, even though none of us have ever done this before, it would have been so easy for them to say no. They were grieving, they were hurting, and it was such a courageous choice for them to say yes.
We have posters up along the race route. We have probably about 50 posters, and they're of children that have battled cancer, have passed away, or are battling cancer. So, I think it really means a lot for people to come this race and see, how many people we're helping or how many kids are really affected by this.
And what makes our race so special, because John was such an avid lover of specific foods. So we try and bring the water ice that he loves and the donuts, and we have all those as our post-race celebration, which is pretty atypical.
And we're going on to year 11, and it's stronger than ever.
People give money towards, research, which is needed, and but we thought we really want to do something that's actually going to help families now. The foundation provides financial assistance for families to use as needed. Families have used the money to pay for bills, go on a family vacation, pay for gas going back and forth to the hospital, horseback riding therapy, towards a wheelchair van, towards a therapy dog, and fulfilling the wishes of a child's last Christmas. And the list goes on.
We've grown a little bit each year, but each year we've found there's been more people willing to sponsor. In our 10 years, we've now raised a little bit over $500,000. And with that, we've been able to help 166 families support their families going through the challenges of having a child with cancer.
We're just going to keep going and getting bigger and getting more people involved by either donating, buying a t-shirt, coming and having a water ice. John's favorite flavor is Swedish fish.
Your financial contribution is vital for us to continue our important work. And to our future sponsors, as our partner, your corporate philanthropic mission, together with ours, can provide much needed hope, strength, and healing to children with cancer and their families. Thank you for being a superhero for children with cancer, survivors, and their families.
Every day he made a choice to be happy.